Hello everybody, welcome to your next free singing lesson. So we've still got Jess here, and we talked about the different types of attack you can do on various exercises. But let's just run straight through an exercise now without stopping, the first exercise you should do. So if you have a similar voice type to Jess, have a listen to this all the way through, then go back to the beginning and sing along with her. Do the exercise. Make sure you're standing up, you're standing with good posture, you're breathing correctly, and that you attack the sound either ideally with a well-balanced attack, or if you're struggling to do that, use a aspirant attack. Start with an H. So let's start there on the B flat, Jess. We'll work down and then we'll work up the scale. Can you start with aspirant attacks, please? Just subtle aspirant attacks. Pretty much perfect. You okay?
Yeah.
Stay as relaxed as possible. Good. If you do feel any frogs in your throat like that, part of the process of warming up is that you clear any frogs out. It's not a problem, nothing to worry about. We don't want that to happen in front of the public when we're singing a song, particularly of course. It's completely normal when you're warming up. What you must avoid, and Jess knows this and she did very well there to avoid it, is coughing. So she didn't then burst into lots of cough. She very gently just cleared whatever frog she had in her throat. A lot of people will kind of stop, turn to the side, and then pretty much hammer their vocal cords with harsh coughing to try and clear whatever's in the way. But that always makes everything much worse. So Jess has got a bottle of water handy, so if she really needs to stop for a minute, have a sip of water, then that would be fine. Otherwise, it's just a very gentle clearing, or it's best just to kind of swallow and and not do anything, and then just carry on with your singing vocal exercise. 3 more. Aspirant attack. Quite often once you start singing, the tickle goes away again. We don't want the throat to get dry, so just going to breathe in through the nose before she sings. In through the nose, keep the throat nice and moist. And all the time you're exercising, in gaps in between, you want to check with little wiggles and twitches just that everything is relaxed as it can possibly be. Last one. Very good. Do you want to have a sip of water?
Yeah.
So I could sense there that Jess feels like perhaps there's another little a frog, a little bit of gunge that perhaps might need to be cleared at some point. Deep breath, aspirant attack on the B flat, and it's as you go up the scale that will help to clear those things. It helps to get the voice moving. You feel alright to carry on?
Yeah.
Back where we started. Perfect. Feel alright? Good. Good. In this higher part of the voice, it's actually safer to be louder because the voice just wants to stretch here. And if you go a bit louder, you give it a bit more energy, then everything just works a little bit better. We're up on a C, we're going up to a C sharp. So we've passed that tricky B flat bridge moment. Jess has no problem with that, of course. Up the scale. Perfect. These last two are really quite demanding from if you feel your abdominal muscles crunching quite a bit or a little bit of tension around your intercostal muscles, that would be normal at this point. Deep breath in. You don't do it, you just might feel that. Did you feel a little kind of tense?
Yeah.
You feel the support kicking in?
Yeah.
Excellent. That just kicks in naturally. And it's correct. Last one, Jess. Well done. Very very good. Have a rest there for a second. So we take it from the B flat down, being careful not to pick up too much chest sound, and then we jump back up to the B flat and stretch the voice up to E flat. It's a good place to stop. At that point, the voice, could you feel a slight kind of unsureness on that note? What do you feel? Can you describe to everyone?
Feels like it's slightly breaking.
Slightly breaking.
Yeah.
It's like it's trying to go somewhere else, isn't it? So that is pretty much what you should feel when you're warming up. When you have your voice fully trained, if you're a soprano, then that part of your voice will sort itself out and you won't feel that little breaky moment. But when you're first warming up in the day, that little breaky kind of feeling, as Jess describes it, it might feel just slightly unstable at that point. You might find it difficult to stay in tune. And there's a temptation to really push the voice to make sure it stays how you want it. But that's a bad idea. Jess did it just right. She just kind of worked gently. She let all the energy come from there, and she didn't disturb the fact that the voice feels like it wants to change at that point. And it should start to change. It starts to go into the high zone where it resonates far more in the head. It has far more of the head voice qualities, which, as well as head resonance, also include the fact that the vocal cords thin out at that point. That's what gives you the feeling of instability, you know that. So the vocal cords thin at that point, far less thyroretinoid activity, and quite a bit more cricothyroid activity. So the voice starts to stretch. A lot of singers know it as the voice starts to turn at that point. Okay, so there is your first exercise to sing along with Jess. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click subscribe, it'll be about here, and you can carry on with your singing lesson with Jess if you click the next video, which is over here, and then you can carry on with us on the next vocal exercise, which is going to warm up your voice, exercise it, stretch it, and make singing your songs feel much more comfortable, much freer, much easier to express yourself. So thanks to Jess for sharing that first stage of the warm-up, and see you at the next video. Thanks.